Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ege Devon, and I am an expert advisor based in Dubai, representing Trade Office Estonia. I'm very happy that we have more than 100 people signed up today for that presentation. The presentation will be recorded and therefore will be available later stage as well if you have somebody who would like to see it, absorb it, or didn't have an opportunity to attend our live session today. At the end of the presentation, we will be having a dedicated session for Q&A. However, I would encourage you to have all your questions typed in a Q&A box or in chat as we go through the different topics while the topics are fresh in your minds. And now I would like to introduce you our today's presenter, Miss Badreya Al Mutawa, who has more than 15 years of experience in protocol and high-profile event management. Since 2003, she has worked with the UAE government and government-related organizations, and today she represents her company VIP and Protocol Event Management. Welcome, Ms. Badreya. We're very happy and lucky to have you here.
Thank you, Inga, for your introduction. And Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and good afternoon from Dubai City. And on behalf of VIP and Protocol Events Institute, I would like warmly welcome you all this afternoon from Dubai City. And before I started, I would like to welcome Mrs. Alwazna Falah, the President and the founder of the VIP and Protocol Events Management, for her welcoming remark. Mrs. Alwazna, the floor for you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Your Excellency Jan Reinhold, Estonian Ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. It's an honor and privilege for me to welcome you on behalf of VIP and Protocol Institute and Events Management Team. I would like to extend a special thanks to Enterprise Estonia, presented by Ms. Ege, for the great effort to make this event happen. The idea of establishing an Emirati company that provides protocol trainings, services, and ceremonies management is inspired by the vision of the leaders of the United Arab Emirates to represent the true values and the UAE, and to introduce the UAE culture and provide exceptional hospitality to all the guests of the country. We are so happy to have you join in here at UAE Soft Culture and Business Etiquette Training. I hope that this will prove to be memorable and fulfilling for you. And I think that I have gone enough, so I need to leave some time for my colleague Badreya Al Mutawa. I wish you all a very good time with us today, and thank you so much. The floor is yours, Badreya.
Thank you, Mrs. Alwazna. As you know, today we're going to discuss and talk about the culture of the United Arab Emirates and the business etiquette, how we can deal and communicate with people living from the Middle East and especially from the GCC and United Arab Emirates. So today, inshallah, we're going to cover briefly to talk about the United Arab Emirates and about the UAE Protocol. Following that, we're going to discuss about the culture and etiquette, dress code, hospitality, and the dining. In fact, the United Arab Emirates has a rich history and culture as demonstrated by many studies based on the antique documents and artifacts discovered in this land related to the 6,000 years ago. But we're going to talk today more about the United Arab Emirates was formed as an independent federation in 1971, 2nd of December. 2 days back, we was celebrating for the 49 years of the union for the country. And originally, the country including 7 main cities, which are Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Ajman, Sharjah, Al Quwain, Ras Al Khaimah, and Fujairah. And the last city who joined the federation following year is Ras Al Khaimah in 1971. As you see from the map, geographical also is in addition to the historical side, the Gulf region and especially United Arab Emirates is enjoining in very strategic geographical location, as you see bordering the Gulf of Arabic and Gulf of Oman from the seaside, and from this land side bordering the 2 countries, Sultanate Oman and Saudi Arabia. And the city and the country of the UAE, it's centralizing the Middle East country, as you see from the second slide and the overview of the all countries under the Middle East, Asia. And very important for people who aiming and to visit Middle East country, it's good to remember that not all Middle East countries are Arab from Arab culture, and also not all Middle East country, their religion is Islam. As example, like the Lebanon is one of the Middle East country, but they have 3 different official religion, which is Islam, Christian, and Jewish. So this is very important when we come to the communication and to understand the culture of the Middle East. It's very important to go back and go through if this country is Arabic or not. As you see from the map, for example, we have Turkey, Iran, Afghanistan. They are non-Arab country, but the religion is Islam. So it's very important to know which language and which religion they are, so we can understand the way we can communicate with them and the culture that be fit and align when it comes to the business etiquette. But overall, the similarity of the culture and civilization, somehow it's very similar. UAE Protocol, the UAE Protocol taking very important part in diplomatic practice and also international relation, and the strategy of the protocol align with the history, royalty, religion, culture, and language, and many other things when it comes to the international relation with other countries. As a government, the United Arab Emirates is consistently monarchical federation that has developed into modern and wealthy country. It is relatively moderated in the area of the foreign policy, which has given them an important role in diplomacy in the region. Also, the country, it is constantly developing its political system and seek to make it more representative to the society needs and the country economic growth. This is the ruler of the 7th city, as you see, and each city they have own leader. And traditionally, the Abu Dhabi city being elected as a capital of the United Arab Emirates, and the current presidents of the United Arab Emirates, as you see from the slide, the picture number 1, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and the city and the leader for the Dubai city elected to be the vice presidents and the prime minister for the UAE. And the below is the rest of the ruler and leaders of each city from the 7 cities. When we come to talk about the economy, in less than 50 years, the United Arab Emirates has developed from the Bedouin society in which fishing and agriculture was the main livelihoods into one of the most modern countries in the world with very highly advanced infrastructure. And we see that when it comes to the economy, the UAE has one of the most open economic in the world. And this is tradition of the welcome businesses and trade goes back to the early Gulf history when ships slided to India and along to the coast of East Africa as far south of Mozambique. UAE country to be as a strategic hub with business-friendly free zone and quickly economic growth. And the strategy of the United Arab Emirates when it comes to the trade and economic, they aiming to increase the investment of the industrial and other export-oriented sector, including heavy industry, transportation, petrochemical, tourism, IT, telecommunication, renewable energy, and aviation, as well as the space, including the oil and gas services. The diplomatic relationship between the two countries, Estonia and Emirates, were established actually in March 28, 2006. And this is the table that's showing you the main meeting and areas that since 2006 till 2020, our relation is continue for many purpose and activity and occasion that been connected and collaborated between these two countries, which is related, if it is related to the sport, to the tourism, to the economic, to the trade. And as you see, as example, I mentioned here, the first visit from our Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah. After the establishment, he visited in 2009. And I believe in 2010, the Estonian had the visit to United Arab Emirates. And this is some other example. And we do have the ambassadors of the United Arab Emirates being started and raised actually since from 2016 till 2019, His Excellency the Ambassador Sultan Al-Kaytoub, but he was raised in the Sweden in Stockholm, which has handling the Estonia country as well. And of course, your ambassador, the Estonian ambassador of the UAE, the previous one, he used to based in the Egypt country in Cairo city, which handling the United Arab Emirates area. And of course, we will not forget in 2018, end of 2018, the confirmation of participating the Estonia for Expo 2020 is confirmed, and starting to collaborate in many other activities related to both country collaboration. And I'm showing you some example of the visits and the collaboration between both countries. If I can start from the left, this is one of the main visits for business leaders in 2018 for the Interpeers Estonia to discuss about the future collaboration between the businesses between the UAE and Estonia. And the second picture is the signing MOU agreement between both countries on e-governance and ICT in 2015. And the third picture, as you see, the picture of the meeting with the Prime Minister of Estonians with our leader of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, in 2009. And I believe that it was during the World Economic Government Summit to be discussed about the innovation and technology and the future of Dubai, which comes unrelated to the technology. And the last picture is the picture of the opening of the interviews in Dubai and the world during the summit of the World Energy 24th. This is some example, and we have very deep relationship when it comes to the economy and trade. Business culture etiquette. When we talk about the business culture etiquette, the UAE is probably different from the other experience back in home, because the culture for the UAE is aligned with the civilization and the religion and the living of the multicultural people who used to live in, who's living in this country. And the most important thing is to remember that the business etiquette in the UAE is all about the respect. It's all about the respect. And more you understand about the culture, that means you are more into the culture and to the people who coming from the Middle East. The United Arab Emirates, we have multicultural society, actually more than 200 nationalities living in the country, and which is taking the most, around 80% of the population of the United Arab, which is more than 9 million, and 20% are Emirati nationality and origin. So we are very small number as a local people, but the opportunity of the nationality and multicultural people who are living within the country give us the opportunity to understand the other culture within one country. And as a result of that, the government liberty within the region that to provide school and culture center, restaurants, and other activities that to facilitate other nationalities who are living within the country. Our official language is Arabic, but English is spoken widely. And this is the English, and the English is the business language when it comes to the business. And as well as when we come to the public sector, some of the public sector, they prefer Arabic in terms of the documents and letters, but the majority is English. And of course, the religion, the official religion of the Emirates is Islam. And beside that, as I mentioned, we have more than 200 nationality living in the UAE that give us the other religion that to be around us. And as you see from the graph, we have other religion that living within the Islam, and we all respect each other and respect their culture, and we are very welcoming with other people and having experience with living with these different culture and civilization from around the world who living within one country. If you're aiming to meet and having meeting or planning to have a business trip to Dubai, it's very important to know that our working days is from Sunday to Thursday, and our official weekend is Friday and Saturday. And the timing between the government sector and public sector, it's slightly different. The government and the public, they start from 7:30 to 2:30, and some of them ending between 2:30 to 4 p.m. But the private sector, they working longer from 9 to 5, and some organization, they ending from 5 to, let's say, till 7 p.m. And during Ramadan, Ramadan is one of the holy months from the Islamic calendar. Usually they reduce 2 hours from the actual working hours because of the fasting and the limitation of the activity that taking place on the daytime. As you know, Ramadan is the month of people, the Muslims people, they fasting from the sunrise till the sunset. And after they break the fasting, they start to have normal activity in the evening. So this is also important for people who are planning to travel and visit UAE to know the month, the timing of during these days. As you see, I just mentioned for your knowledge for the future, and next Ramadan for 2021 will be during mid of April and ending mid of May. Following that, as you know, we're going to have 3 days public holiday related to the Eid holiday. When we come to the communication in United Arab Emirates, when it comes to the business etiquette communication, we're following the international protocol standard meeting and greeting. But this is some tips from my side that when you see or when you meet Emirati people, the Emirati people, they have different way when they greet each other. I can show you from the following slide how they greet. But as a normal, as a standard, they maintain using the handshake. And when you meet someone or when you enter to the meeting room or as a first visit for you, if it is formal or informal, it's very good to know that who is the most senior person you're going to meet at the meeting room to start welcoming and greeting the senior one from the meeting room. And as I mentioned, from the right side, this is the way our local people that they greet when it comes to the same gender from men. They touch a nose as a part of the greeting, plus the handshake. Of course, this is during the normal days, but now within the COVID-19 situation, we avoiding all this way of the communication and handshake, and we're using either we wave or we putting our hand on the left side from the heart to show the respect and welcoming for the person who in front of us. As you see from this picture, when it comes to the different gender, especially from with a woman or Emirati woman, to avoid the embarrassing from the woman, it's recommended for any businessman when they meet and they meet with a woman in the meeting, it's better to wait till to see the initiative from the woman that she raising her hand to shake hand. If not, you can see from the far the way that how she gonna greet. Either she put her hand on the heart as a greeting with a little bit of bowing, so that she's showing you that this is my way of greeting and handshake. Or you can see she already started an initiative, her hand to raise it and to welcome the person who greeting her. The title, especially when you have the first meeting with people you never met before, it's very important to know the title. If they are Mr., Mrs., engineer, professor, or doctors, it's really important to be aligned with, especially when it comes to the written a letter or sending email, to mention the title with the first name and the surname or the family name. As you know, Arabic name, they have very long name. For example, my name, I have like till my 7th grandfather, like Badreya Muhammad. It's a very long name. And most of the Arab people, they have very long name. So we are fine on that. So we prefer to have, when it comes to the short, to write the short name, they prefer to have the first, second, and last name, including the title. But when it comes to the face-to-face, is optional. It depends of the person who you met. It is first time, it's better to mention the title. But if it is you have very good relationship or and very close with the person who you are meeting, usually the person, he can tell you how he prefer to be called during the discussion and conversation. And when it comes to the meeting, the local people, they prefer to have a meeting face-to-face in terms of sending email or having phone call. This is during the normal days, but nowadays most of the communication become virtually. And another point when it comes to the title, if you are visiting the country, not related to the meeting, you're just roaming around the country or around the city, and you want to ask someone in the street, and you don't know how to call them, so it's especially women, so it's good to mention like Miss or Mrs. or excuse me, Miss, can I know like the direction for the museum, for example. So this is good when it comes to the communication with the public people around the city as a part of to be polite and respecting the people who in the country. This is example from the GCC royalty. I just mentioned it here for your information, that to know we have Saudi Arabia, Sultanate Oman, and Bahrain. They are as a kingdom, and the royalty title orally, as you see, we call them as His Majesty King for Saudi Arabia, and for the prince, we call them His Royal Highness. And when we come to this Oman, Sultanate Oman, they are Sultana, so as a majesty, they call him as His Majesty Sultan Haytham, for example. And Bahrain as well is as a kingdom, so you can use both, either His Highness or His Majesty, the King Hamad Al Khalifa. And the other country like in the UAE, we have His Highness and the Highness, plus the Kuwait is similar to Dubai and UAE as well. Personal distance, during the COVID-19, we are familiar that it's 6 feet between you and the person who you're gonna meet during the networking. But when it comes to the normal days, the personal space, we're following the standard. And especially when it comes to the mixed gender, it's better to calculate your distance as a length of your arms. And if you feel you are far to shake hand, you can shake hand, then you can step back within the arm length rule. So this is the normal personal space distance that we use, and we're following the standard of the protocol, the international protocol. Business card is recommended actually during the meeting because it's typically exchanging the information between both, and it's like a beginning of and the correct way to hand over the business card is optional, either by two hands and the written of the business card facing the guest or the person who you're gonna meet, so it's easy for him to read when he receive it from you, or you have handed from your right hand. Always, anything you want to give, not just business card, it's better to be given from the right hand. And just a bonus tip for people who are aiming to have a business or attending Expo 2020 next year for whole 6 months, it's very nice to have business card and translated in Arabic. So it's give you like, it's like added value from the first impression from the Arab guest who you're gonna meet during the events that taking place that time. And also within the etiquette of the business card during the meeting, it's recommended to keep the card on the table till end of the meeting. So this shows the respect and the willing communication with the person who you're meeting during the meeting. So this is very important to keep it on your front of you during the meeting. Other things during the meeting is important. As you know, the meeting are the key of the business culture in the United Arab Emirates. And the important target is the right person. So when you're aiming to plan to meet someone from certain sector or certain organization, it's very important when you're planning to have a meeting to know the right person, that you are communicating the right person and the person who has the decision maker, especially when you want to establish new businesses or even you want a very quick answer and very quick action to be taken for your requirement. And might have this attend formal meeting, but most of the senior people present and discuss and negotiate during the meeting. They start to break the ice as a small discussion about the life, the sport. So no worry and be patient during the meeting when it's face to face, because sometimes you might wait like 5 minutes before you start to the main topic during the meeting. This is the area that sometimes people they feel uncomfortable, but to be patient, and it's normal when you come to this region. Having appointment is very important, especially if you are planning to visit with a number of the delegates who are coming with you. It's recommended that 2 weeks to a month in advance to be informed to the organization who are going to host and receiving you within the program of the visit. So this one gives them the time to plan and to check the availability of all the senior and the decision maker for your purpose visit. The culture of the UAE when it comes to negotiate and communicate, most of the Arab country and the Middle East, they are indirect when they come to the communication. They never answer and give you the direct answer during any topic being negotiated. So this is the way how the people during the meeting. So be aware about the indirect communication when you come to this region. Gaining the partner, the trust is very important. So to build the trust from the beginning is very important and highly recommended when you come to deal and collaborate with Emirati or the Middle East people. And of course, put in your mind and respect them and within the culture and the religion around it. And especially when it comes to the other activity that's going to be taking place, it's very good to have a better understanding deeply to their heritage and culture and being respectful for all the details in general. And also during the negotiation, do not end the deal as a win and fail. Be flexible, be patient. The decision might not be taken immediately. So it might take times for the Arab or Middle East people to decide. And usually it comes like many meetings still ending for the win-win situation. And be very diplomatic and flexible during the negotiation with the people who you're going to meet. And of course, the continue after closing the deal, or even if they take it or not, is very important. You stay close to your people who you met and have relationship, and try to make it very sustainable and continue relationship no matter if the deal is taken or not, because it's very important and they take it very helpful for the future as well. Might you need it for other purpose in the future to achieve to other result or any other purpose. Being friends, it's not the business partner. So when it comes to the former, the traditional societies such as the Arab and family value and friendship are validated. The United Arab Emirates and Emirati people, they have different time from the Westerns when it comes to proceed, as I mentioned, when they proceed to have the final decision making for any topic or any project that can be dealt with these two sectors or these two companies. So being patient is very important. Flexibility with the dealing with the people is very important. When you have a small talk and negotiating in informal, try to avoid a personal information to be asked to the person who in front of you. And the recommended topic to be discussed, about the hobbies, the travel, the sport, the life, the weather, the education, this is acceptable. And this is some topic to be avoided, to talk about the family, the personal life, the woman. And also, when you have a meeting, the body language is very, very important in terms of the seating when you sit in the meeting room. For people who cross the leg, try as much you can to not to be the bottom of your feet facing the person who in front of you, because it is showing as unrespected attitude from your side. So this is very important to remember during the meeting. Gift exchange. Gifts are not necessary actually in our region, but it's very high appreciated when we receive. Of course, and when we receive any gift, when you hand it over the gift or any things should be remembered to be from the right hand or by both hands, and to be opened in the private. So do not open the gift in front of the people. And always when you think to bring a gift or a trophy, it's recommended to be related to your background as a culture, which there is a story about it or behind it. This is very, very likely and appreciated from the Middle East and Emirati people. And the things to be remembered when you think to get a gift, and things should be avoided as a gift, as you see, as I mentioned, is like anything related to the pigskin product, anything with a pork or alcohol, or the art that related to the animal, like dogs, is not recommended and not likely align it with our culture. Might some art is acceptable, for example, like the falcon, image of the falcons is acceptable, the horses is acceptable, but the other type animal, as I mentioned, like pig or dogs, is not. Women in business in the United Arab Emirates. Women actually, in the past few years ago, the government of the United Arab Emirates, they create a new guideline and strategy for the gender balance, to achieve the gender balance between the Emirati women and the Emirati men. And the reason of that, because big number and big percentage of Emirati women nowadays become more highly educated, and they choosing to work rather than marry early and stay home. And nowadays we have a really big percentage of people from the female Emirati having very leading and having very important role within the country. As you see from this graph, we have 5% leading like a role decision maker women in private sector and 66% women working in government sector. And we have 30% decision maker role and business women. And within the diplomatic and the UAE cabinet, we have 27% of the female working in workplace. So the woman now it's balancing with the men when it comes to the strategy. And this is some images from the most famous women, Emirati women in different sector, and as a businesswoman, in a sport, pilot, military, engineer, fashion, and diplomatic. When we come to discuss about the dress code, the business etiquette of the dress code for business in the Middle East and Emirat, we following the international protocol, the standard of the professional dress code. Men should wear a suit and women should ensure that business clothes covering on the leg when you come to the region of the Middle East and Emirat, and avoid scheduling meeting during when we discussed to go back to the meeting time. So there is a certain time, if we're going to discuss about the timing, there is a certain time that to be avoided during, if you want to plan a meeting, which is the prayer time, which is in the afternoon and noon time, because there is a certain time people taking break. I just remember, sorry about that. And as I mentioned, this is the standard of the professional dress code when we come to discuss for the foreign people who come and meet, and they prefer to be modestly, and your clothes are extremely important when you come to the Middle East, and to be dress code with the standard and the color that align with the protocol guide of the professional etiquette for the business dress code. But when we talk about the UAE national dress, as you see, the male, most of the time they wearing white and the woman wearing black. I'm sure you're gonna ask why the woman wearing black and men wearing the white dress or white kandora, we call it. And the cultural practice actually, because our climate as a desert climate we have, and all the year we have the hot weather, and in the past as a desert and wind, wearing black or white for men and women are, just to know, it's not part of the religion and it's not necessary, but it is part of the culture and the geographical climate that the people who living in this land. And originally white men wearing white because it's reflecting the heat as they spend a lot of time outdoor because of the traveling by camel and by walk. So, and most of the time they spending outside. So the white color is minimizing the heat when they wear it. Comparing to the other side, the women, while they wearing black, black is just to kind of the politeness and modest, and it's not related to anything. It's just being chosen to be black. And to describe what does mean kandora, as you see from this picture, the long dress, we call it kandora, and the one in his hat, we call the round, the black one, we call it agal, And the scarf that under Ragal we call it ghutra. This is the national dress, and also during the formal and professional meeting, as a professional dress code for the Emirati, they wear this color, white color. And some occasion, very international and very global events and very official events, you will see some senior people and royal family wearing the black bisht. We call it bisht. This is like a coat wearing above the kandora for the official occasion. And not anyone can wear it, only for the very senior and royalty. And the color, the choosing of the color, it comes from the protocol department to be mentioned during when they send the invitation to for the invitees. And this is, we call it abaya, the woman that she's wearing like a very long dress above the internal dress, we call it abaya. And the scarf that she's covering the hair, we call it shela. And this is the national dress for Emirati women and the official color and professional dress code when it comes to the business etiquette of the dress code for the UAE national is black. There is some tips, some people, old people, especially in United Arab Emirates, so do not surprise, because still today our old grandmother and some moms, they still wearing the mask that we call it burqa, as you see in the picture. And this is, we call it burqa. And in the past, the reason why the woman used to wear it, and this is just to know between the single and married woman in the past. So any woman who used to be married, they wear this mask. So that means she's taken and married. And for the women who do not wear it, that means she's still single. So this is the way people used to know who's single and who's married. And of course, in each country in the Middle East, they have different design of the mask. As you see from the second picture, this is some cities from Saudi Arabia. They covering with black mask, and some of them they covering the whole face. And again, this is not related to the religion. This is related to the culture and to the area that we came from. And also they mentioned another benefit of this mask is to protect the face from the heat of the summer, during the summer. Hospitality and dining. When we come to talk about the hospitality, the culture of the United Arab Emirates is very rich and deep when it comes to the hospitality. And the traditionally, actually, that people starting, that people, welcoming people, if I know you or I don't know you, this is a part of our culture to welcome people by our welcoming way. We call it as a part of the hospitality, the symbol of the hospitality for any people who we receive, if it is first time off, if it is from friends or close people who we met, with Arabic coffee and the dates as a most welcoming, and start meeting with Arabic coffee. And our Arabic coffee, it's slightly different from the American and other coffee, because we have different recipe being added on it, like cardamom and some other like and rose water and saffron, which give different taste. And without sugar, usually it's made it. But when you want and aiming to have sweet, they provide for you a date as a part of the sweet to make it the coffee sweet. So serving coffee is one of our key hospitality when we come to the Arab countries, and all, especially in the Emirat. And the major culture which are surrounded in the GCC also, they have the same way of the hospitality. But nowadays, with the new and modern business etiquette, not all entity and organization, they do have this kind of the services. But when you come to the informal visit family or visiting someone's house, and some hotels now they're providing in the lobby entrance that this is a kind of part of the Arab hospitality. When we come and talk about the F&B and the food cuisine, Emirati cuisine, in general, the Emirati cuisine in the United Arab Emirates, we have very similarity with our neighbor countries like Sultanate Oman, Saudi Arabia, and also our way of the making food being added from the culture of the India and Persian because of the spice that being provided and taken from the India. So some of our food might be spicy because of the mixed culture that we living around. And also the Persian cuisine, and the main dish when it comes to the lunch, our main dish as a must is meat, fish, chicken with rice. Should be to be like a fixed dish to be available during the lunch and sometimes during the dinner. And the beverage, we have different type of the beverage, including the milk. And some Bedouin people till today, they prefer to have the camel milk. But nowadays we have different drink, but at the end we prefer after the main course to have tea or coffee. And our dessert what used to be the mixed fruit or the basket of mixed fruit. When we're gonna talk about halal food, it's really important, especially for anyone who want to have business in food industry, to know what is halal food and how the UAE government or some of the Middle East government to accept the business related to the food industry and to be certified by the Emirates Halal Center. So halal food, or the meaning of halal, is the food that fit for human consumption and permitted by law of Islam, and especially when it comes to the meat. An opposite of halal is called haram, which is mean forbidden. And I'm just sharing with you some example of the halal food for your information. Like anything related to the like rice, pasta, this is product are not haram, so it's acceptable to be eaten. And the meat that not being that not being followed the law of Islam, we mention it as a haram and it's not accepted in our market. The fruit and vegetable in general are halal, so this is okay, except if there is anything being made and created with alcohol and animal fat, we count it as a haram product. And when we come to the milk, of course, in general, milk, cheese, anything related to the milk product, it is halal. But when it comes to haram, when it's mixed with other product which is not following the law of Islam certification. This is just some example. Might people ask, like, just is halal as so simple and just to avoid alcohol and pork? Or why do we need halal certificate? Halal certificate, yes, maybe the comparison between the products halal and haram is easy. But when it comes to have certificate, it's decided by the government. If you have any integrated and process for the food industry, it's very recommended that you have to check and go back to the responsible people who can give you the guideline for any product you're planning to making or to having business related to the F&B. And also and to be also clear and easy access to provide this kind of item within UAE region. Last and not least, Al-Majlis. If you are never been in the United Arab Emirates or in the Middle East, so Al-Majlis, you will hear a lot Al-Majlis during the events or some occasion. Al-Majlis means a meeting room where senior and decision maker who used to sit and meet together. And traditionally, in the past, is actually older people and sheikhs, they used to use it to discuss about their daily affairs related to what's happening within the region or in the country or in the city, and sharing a story. So the majlis, the use of the majlis nowadays is changed, and especially when it comes to the venue booking and hotel industry, you will see they allocating the side room with this kind of the setup, as you see from the picture, is U-shape or with a small coffee table around. We call it majlis setup, and very VIP and senior people, they use it for the private meeting or for side discussion with very senior people, or even they can use it for the waiting area till the senior of the events arrive. So, and this is just to share with you the meaning of the majlis. So majlis means the small or private meeting room, if you wanted to translate it to the English. And this is my last slide. I just want to share with you the video about the Dubai.
The new normal, where we found fresh perspectives on life, where we faced unprecedented truths and discovered unimagined opportunities. A world where technology brings us closer, so we can learn from one another to co-create a better future, where innovation isn't just centered on the new, it is designed to enrich what already exists, where robotics and artificial intelligence accelerate the pace of upskilling, and genetics and biotech re-engineer life and its expectancy, where our yesterdays build experience and our todays generate resilience, where we are all stronger together. And as we take a step forward, it's time to say, join us, make your mark. Welcome to the pioneers, the pathfinders, and the game changers amongst us. Welcome to a new way of thinking. Welcome to Dubai. The new normal, where we found...
Thank you so much. Ending to my presentation, Mike, you're gonna ask what is the benefit that we having or doing business in the United Arab Emirates, or why we have to attend the Expo 2020. From my perspective and my background, I think Dubai is one of the unique advantage and opportunity that the mega events that are going to be offered during the Expo give you opportunity, especially for the entrepreneurship and the youth. and especially for people who's working with innovation and technology, there is a big and huge opportunity to have a collaboration with many businesses people who are going to be around the whole events. And this is my last. Thank you so much for your listening, and I hope the technical of the internet is clear during my presentation.
Thank you so much, Badreya. We really appreciate all the insights. It's very great to learn about the United Arab Emirates and to understand how important is the business and protocol and culture. So when we do our everyday business, we do have a couple of questions. So if you don't mind, I will read them out for you. So the first question we have here: what are the recommendations for Western non-Muslim women to greet a local Emirati woman and man?
Okay, for Western women to welcome and greet the Emirati woman, we are fine. So you have no issue when it comes with the same gender. And for Western women to greet the Emirati man, actually, it's better to wait. It's now opposite sides. So you have to see if the gentleman, Emirati man, he's willing to shake hand. So you can see he's raising hand and he's very fine and normal. But if not, you can stand without shaking hands and you can greet verbally. This is more than enough.
You have this fantastic way of greeting among Emirati women. If you don't mind, can you show us? I'm a huge fan of this.
Actually, if it is the first meeting and first time to meet with a person, we prefer just to shake hands with a very standard way, and that's it. But if we are like the second, third, and we become very close, relation between both of us, we might shake hand with a kiss from the left side, either 1 or 3 maximum, or both sides.
Yes, and you also have the tradition to put your hand on a heart and just
this
nod.
One for men, yes. When it comes to the other gender, the men, some of Emirati women, they don't prefer to shake hands. So to avoid embarrassing, they prefer to start putting the hand in the left side where the heart and bowing a little bit just to show the greeting and the respect of the person so he can recognize that, okay, she don't want to shake hands. So this is the message how we want to send it when it comes to the Western men.
Thank you very much. We have a couple of more questions. Are there any topics that should be avoided for small talk at the beginning of the meeting? You mentioned family and women.
Family, anything related to the family, kids, wife, or personal information, for example, age or salary, related to the salary or the organization, very deeply personal. Better to be avoided from the first meeting and try to make it very general about the weather, the hobbies, the activities, you know, or the touristic area. In general, it's acceptable, it's fine. Just to bring like a small talk before starting the meeting.
We have another very interesting question. I understood that people in UAE are very proud of their children. Is it appropriate to speak about kids?
It depends. If it is in general about the kids, might be acceptable, but not you are focusing to his kids or her kids related to the family. Like in general, to be talking about the kids, it's okay. It's fine.
Thank you very much. We have quite a few more questions. How local Emiratis see Western expats who reside in UAE and would like to wear abaya?
When they traveling, you mean?
When they live here in the region, for example, me, Ege Devon, if I would like to wear an abaya daily basis. But I am not Muslim, I'm not Emirati.
Actually, it's fine because we have some other nationality. They love to wear the abaya as a trend or fashion with different color. Actually, I don't have the picture. I'd love to share it with you because during the summer you see color for abaya away from the black color. We wear it during the summer, and the non-Emirati people from the foreign countries, they wearing as a part of the fashion with different color of abaya, but without covering the hair, just like a kimono style. So this is fine. Yeah, we don't have any issue on that.
Mm-hmm. Now we have another question. Can you invite Emirati for a dinner
Yes.
or to visit your country?
Yes, of course. Actually, during this kind of the meeting, business meeting, might you gonna receive an invitation to be invited either to the home for dinner or lunch, or to be away from the work atmosphere. So it's happened usually within our culture. So it's fine, normal.
Thank you very much. Another one, to avoid small talk embarrassment, how well is overall humor and jokes perceived? It's a very complicated question, I believe.
So for us, to be avoided is much better, especially when you don't know the person how he gonna receive the joke. So better to be avoid any type of the joke. Maybe you joke, but he receive it in different way, the message, and be any sensitively related to the topic that you mentioned as a joke. So better not to be joked during the conversation unless you know very deeply this person.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And there is another question. You talked about how senior male leaders, officials in the UAE, might wear a special piece of clothing. Are there any other examples, and what about in other Arab countries?
Yes, I just mentioned about the GCC country in terms of the addressing and titling. And you have like other Arab country, for example, in Jordan, they are kingdom also. So the titling will be same for the royal, the kingdom, His Majesty. And the other GCC country like UAE, we don't have a kingdom, so we can say His Highness or His Excellency. Like Kuwait, also same, Qatar, same. And the other country, which is not kingdom, we call it same, Excellency, Your Excellency, or Mr. President, Mrs. So it is very international and a standard title.
Thank you very much. We have one more question here. What achievements are Emiratis most proud of that would be nice to compliment during a conversation?
Yes, actually, we're very proud that we are from the Emirati nationality, and the advantage of living in the UAE actually that we have more than 200 nationality around us, so no need for us to travel to understand the other culture people. So we all as a one family in one country, and we all treated as equal, and this is very, very make us very proud to respect the other culture and understanding them as the same they respecting our culture and religion. So that's why people always taking advantage to move and live in the UAE because of the transparent and the respecting each other, no matter from where you are or which nationality or religion. At the end, we are equal when we meet other people. all of us most welcome to Dubai or UAE.
Thank you. And we have a couple of more questions. As you can clearly see, people are really interested in to know more details. And as you mentioned to me a couple of days ago, that this is just a brief induction, and you could basically have days of presentations and to cover all the depth and details. So there is one more question. Is there any occasion when Western women should definitely cover their hair in UAE?
Yes, when you have a business mission or trip to United Arab Emirates, the time that recommended for the woman, non-Muslim woman, to cover the hair when you visit to the religion area, for example, visiting mosque. Usually they required for the woman to cover the hair and wearing long dress. So only this area that usually recommended for the non-Muslim or foreign people from female to be covered. And that's it.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think, let me see. There is one more question about the food and certificates. I will say that I will take it separately, and I will reply in, I will share a written reply to that question, because that requires a little bit more details. So do we have any other questions coming up? I believe we have covered what we had so far. So thank you very much, Badreya. We really enjoyed it. And I would like to give our stage for a final closing words to our ambassador, Mr. Jan Reinhold, to share a couple of words from his side as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. During the last hour, we experienced useful trip to the business culture and traditions of Emirates. And on the behalf of the embassy, I would like to thank Ms. Badreya for today's presentation, as well as VIP and Protocol event management for organizing that. This was very comprehensive and very useful to our entrepreneurs who would like to enter the Emirati market. And many thanks to Enterprise Estonia for the initiative to organize this event, which gave us the wonderful opportunity to be part of that. So thank you so much, Ege. Well done. I have been enjoying the hospitality of this country for already over a year. And today, even I have found new tips and insights that have acquired a deeper understanding of the local people and culture. So do you, I believe. We are all currently living in the wait of the incoming COVID vaccine, and hopefully the pandemic will be almost over in a few months. This will definitely revitalize our business activities and will bring back the airlines and tourists, as well as face-to-face contacts. And we have also built bilateral relations between our countries precisely only on the fact that we can strengthen our economic ties. And Dubai Expo is very likely to be the first global economic event after the pandemic and bring us back to the world we are used to. That is something what makes our today's seminar very important. It encourages and prepares Estonian entrepreneurs to enter to the Gulf market. I warmly welcome you here as well in Abu Dhabi and both in Dubai and other Emirates. And Ms. Badreya, thank you once again for your excellent presentation, as for contribution to bring our states and nations closer to each other. I thank all the participants and I hope to meet you soon. Wishing you all the best in Dubai and pre-Christmas Estonia. Thank you for your attention. Suur tänu, shukran.
Shukran, thank you, Your Excellency. I'm very happy that you are joining us in this seminar, and it's really great opportunity that being with us today. Thank you so much on behalf of me and of my organization.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful weekend and enjoy your time with your friends and families.